Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the greatest show on earth, the Millionaire Mindsets Podcast. I am your host, Xavier, and today, this is about to be, I'm going to let y'all know right now, man, before I even get started. This is about to be one of our most legendary episodes, man. So if y'all could like, comment, subscribe, share, because there's about to be so much information, so much game on this episode, and we're going to get straight to it. So today, I got my guy, Cam, a.k.a. Dr. Flipper. What's good? Welcome to
What's
the show,
good,
brother.
bro?
I'm
Appreciate
glad.
you, man.
Hey, I'm excited to get this done, man. And as I said, you Doctor Flipper. This is a real doctor, by the way. The first time we
Right,
didn't have a doctor on Millionaire Monsters, bro. I'm excited to have you
right,
here, man.
right, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Definitely,
Appreciate the
definitely.
opportunity.
And let's get it right into it because you also in real estate. And speaking of real estate, before we start, I love and this is not mandatory. Like when I have guests on, I never be like, yo, let me see your receipts because I could just tell I could
Right,
tell somebody legit. But he came through the door,
right,
receipts, HUDs. He just closed the deal yesterday for
right,
some bread. So
right.
he in the game like for real, and also in the professional world being a doctor. But talk about that for a second, bro. When you
Right.
get in the game,
So I think first thing is let's just set the tone. Um, Real estate is everybody know real estate. Like I ain't gonna get up here and say anything nobody else has said. It's just who you resonate with, whose story you identify with. My introductory into real estate, I'm from Philly. I'm from North Philly. I grew up just like every other inner city kid. We started out in the projects at the age of 2 or 3. My dad got me out of that environment. So I grew up in a single parent household, just like every other inner city kid. My father was murdered, you know.
damn.
I got a brother doing life in prison, I'm the middle child out of 5. So it's really only me that made it out.
Mm.
So that's everybody that heard that. We know that's our disadvantage, but I just said, you know what? That ain't my disadvantage. I'm using all that trauma. That's my advantage. And that's when I realized I had to do something different. Everybody else was in school playing basketball. I was trying to go to school to do something different. I was in high school. I was rowing boats. I was rowing
Really?
boats doing something called crew. I was trying to get scholarships, just trying to do something different because I was like, all right, everybody playing basketball, football. I'm out there trying to join the fence team, trying to do something, just trying to get money because I realized just being different. And you know how people always clown you for being different.
Mhm.
And then I started looking up. I'm like, yo, the lames is the ones not in jail. They really winning. They the ones that really done made it out of this environment. So the more different you can be, and that's the same thing even in medicine. Like, yeah, I'm a doctor. I could get up here and we could talk about that. But first thing is, it's a difference between saying you're a doctor and having a doctorate degree.
Break it down.
So I have a doctorate degree, right? So let's just set the tone, man. Cause a lot of people,
Talk your shit.
a lot of people ain't never see this, eh?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
They used to seeing everybody else come up here. So we gonna set the tone. It's only about, I think statistically, I'm big on math, about 6% of black people can actually wear this white coat.
Really?
And we already know the women ahead. It's more women wearing this than men. And the black men that are wearing this, they ain't African American men.
They might
So
be African or
yeah,
other
the
okay.
African Nigerians is
Killing it.
killing the medical field. So to see an African American man coming from the inner city, that's few and far between. So a lot of people can't really resonate with that. So going back to how I got into real estate, my father was in real estate. He got me out of the projects and he was investing in Philly. But at that time in the 90s, you collecting rent hand to hand
Hand in
method. There
hand.
ain't no such thing as cash app or
Yeah.
and we now we know these as C class or D class neighborhoods. My father got killed collecting rent one day, $600.
Let's buy a tenant.
A tenant. I got the articles and everything. I got an office. Tenant kills landlord, $600, North Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah. This ain't, like I said, I'm big on receipts.
Right.
That's articles. You can look it up right now. Sheldon Gallon, $600 killed. So at age 12, moved with my grandparents. And then, like I said, from that point, I put the basketball down, the football down. That's why I said I was trying to do everything different from that point on. I didn't want to be like nobody else. I wasn't trying to look cool. I just had to get up out of there. And luckily, I found out about medicine. I always wanted to be a medical doctor, right? But once you start running your math, you're like, hold on, that may be about a 12 to 18-year stretch. So
What you mean? What you mean?
you could go to school for about to be a medical doctor. You gotta go to school for about 12 to 18 years after you graduate high school.
You got 12 to 18 years.
Yes. I'm 36 right now. So if I wanted to be a cardiologist, it's cardiologists right now, probably just graduating last year or just finishing their last year right now.
That been in school since
Yes, that's
2012.
yes, no breaks. And I'm talking about that's if you do it all the way straight. And everybody doesn't have the discipline or the grades to make it all the way through.
So when you do that 12 years, how much money you making when you get out? After going to school that
Now,
long?
if you doing a medical doctor, you could really run it up. You probably on the low end, you're gonna bring in about 350.
Okay,
300,
okay.
350. Now I got a doctorate degree. So a lot of people, I got a doctorate in pharmacy. You can have a doctorate in anything. People
Right.
got doctorates and all types of degrees. The bad thing is when you say doctor, people don't really know what you're a doctor in.
Right.
So you got doctorate money and doctor money. The medical doctors they really doing their thing, but they also took on a lot of debt.
A lot of debt.
So the pharmacy route, you could become a pharmacist and get your doctorate in pharmacy in about 6 to 8 years. That's typical. So
Okay.
I graduated at 25. I was making about $130,000 a year, which is
good.
good.
That's really good.
I'm single, no kids.
That's really good.
I'm from North Philly. That's excellent.
Yeah.
But once you start having kids and everything,
Changes.
your money, and then I got twins, so I had two at the same time. Your money start looking like, ooh, it's a little, it ain't that nice as what you think it should be, and especially if you coming out of school with debt. So it's not about what you make; it's about what you take home. A lot of doctors may make more than me if you compare pharmacy to medical doctors.
Right.
They take home, they make more money all day. I can't compete. But the take home, because I done paid off my student loans. We ain't even talking about putting the real estate in play. Just because I paid off my student loans, I'm good. And another thing is doctors come out of school and you gotta uphold that image.
Yeah.
You gotta get the house, right? It's the American dream. Think about it, Zay. Your whole life, you go to school and become what?
Doctor, lawyer.
Lawyer. That's it.
We've been hearing that forever since we was kids. You could be a doctor or a lawyer.
You go to school, you become a doctor or a lawyer, and then what? You get the white picket fence. You got the family, the dog. So you were in school for so long. You come out of school, you got it. Congratulations, you're a doctor now. Now you done got the house. So let's just say you about 600,000, 700,000 for the house because you gotta get the big house, the doctor house, and you got then you got to get the car to go with it. That ain't no Honda. That's a luxury car. That's about another $100,000.
Yeah.
So about 700. You may be about 350 in debt. So you already $1 million in debt right out the gate, just because you want to live the doctor lifestyle. We ain't add no kids in the equation, anything like that. And like I just told you, you going to school for 12 to maybe 18 years. Think about the women that's coming out, and I feel bad. I know so many great women that are doctors, and they pediatricians, OBGYNs, they don't have no kids. Because, they so smart and everything. Everybody know, every woman knows you got a biological clock. You coming out in your mid-30s. So are you living the American dream?
Damn.
Is it really a power couple when you say, oh, I married a doctor or a lawyer?
But when you on the outside, you don't really look at it that way.
You don't
know all these details.
There's no way. And that's the sad thing. But like I said, I'm not here to bash medicine at all, because we need more Black men wearing this.
Mm-hmm.
We need more, I'm all for it, because the reality is a lot of people are scared of people taking their jobs, especially with all the immigration things going on. I don't care how many people come in this country. You can't take what I got.
Facts.
You can't. You gotta earn this, brother. It don't matter what country you coming in. You can't just jump. This ain't nothing you could pick up off the shelf. You can't buy this. This ain't no honorary doctorate degree. Like some people get. No, you gotta go to school. You gotta be disciplined. Yeah, this ain't nothing you could buy or just sneak through whatever, come in here and be like, yeah, I'm gonna take over his job because I can
Nah.
work harder than him. No, it's not happening.
Yo, that's so crazy. And something you said earlier, and it just made me think of something. You mentioned how you were a middle child. And I was just reading a study. My cousin actually sent me this because I'm a middle child as well. And it said that middle children have a 45% increase of becoming wealthy. I didn't even know this. An
Wow.
institution in Illinois, they did a study on this and they interviewed like a bunch of ultra high net worth individuals. And they found out like that middle children find success more. And their reason was because middle children usually we like the oddballs. We
Right.
get less attention, so it's like we don't seek like validity through people. We more independent. We can negotiate better because we so used to mediating with the
Right.
older and the younger sibling, putting everybody together. And it was a bunch of other traits that they mentioned, but they was like it all leads back to like all those traits lead to doing great financially. So that when you
Wow.
said when you said that,
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy because you showing and prove about what that study said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just mainly not trying to, like you just said, fit in.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing even with real estate and just in business in general. It's so much money in the niches. If you just stay in your lane, you ain't worried about what everybody else got going on, and you ain't trying to compete because what you make, even if you out here doing your thing in Dallas or killing it in real estate, you're not affecting my money.
Facts.
It's so much money out here to be made. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm able to continue doing my full-time job, raise my children, and not complain about being a single parent like a lot of people do, not complaining about having a full-time job and running a seven-figure business. So it's so much money. And when I say that, the money I use real estate just to buy my time back. That's it. I'm not really trying to make 10, 20 million or
Right.
flying on private jets. I'm just trying to free my time up where I can spend it with my daughters. I can control my time. I'm here with you.
Yep.
You see, I flew in yesterday. I'm
Yep.
still closing deals, making money.
Yep.
And I ain't making no light change.
Nah.
That's doctor salaries.
Don't talk about it.
That's doctor salaries.
It is.
The first thing when you go to any bank or anywhere, they're going to want to see what? The last 2 years of your tax returns.
Absolutely.
So some people could get up here and say they making this, that to the third. But when you go into that bank, if you can't prove it, the social media cameras, the Instagram, they don't want to see nothing what you posted. You got to have it on paper.
On paper. Social credit is irrelevant.
Yeah. So let's just start
Yeah,
off
let's
with
talk
that,
about
man. We in 2024. So of course we, I got to show you the 2022
Yeah,
to
let's do it,
2023.
let's do it.
And all I want to say is when you look at that, do you see the numbers going up or down?
No, these going up. The numbers going up.
The numbers is going up.
Significantly. Yeah.
Now, like I told you, when we say six figures,
Yeah.
6 figures could be like 900 or 100.
100. Yeah.
Just like I told you with the medical doctors, they high 6 figures. I'm a doctor. I'm low 6 figures. I ain't got no problem saying I make 7 figures. I ain't on the high end, but I'm in the 7-figure range.
Yeah, the 7.
Yeah.
The 7 figures,
which is nice. And that's another thing. But that's most people may say, all right, you did it 1 year, 2 years.
Yeah, right.
What you done did lately for me? So
hey,
like
this
I said,
this is all recent, but you could even talk about the more recent stuff. Because
you see the dates.
This say
you
November 8th, 2024. Today is November 9th, 2024. So this was just yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yep.
That's somebody's salary.
Yeah.
How many you got in your hand?
I got 2 of them.
So
and the one of them say November 6th, one of them say November 8th.
Right.
You mind me reading the numbers or no?
Listen. All right, this now I'm gonna be honest because
I just
look,
asking.
all right. Look, let me ask you this. Look. All right. So right now, like I said, I came out of school making 130 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Pharmacists now, which is sad, they making about 95,000, and I graduated.
So it dropped?
Yes.
Why?
Don't get me started on that. The saturation, it's bad out here. Like I said,
Really?
So it's bad because pharmacists are going to school now. The tuition went up. The cost of living went
up.
So you coming out of school making almost 30,000 less.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But you a doctor. Which is sad. So let me ask you this: those numbers right there, Is that a pharmacist salary? Is that even six figures? Those two?
Yeah.
That's what, we ain't gotta say no numbers or anything, but that's six figures just being here,
Mhm.
I'm not up here. I don't got no fancy jewelry on. And a lot of people get mistaken with that. That could throw you off your game. You start seeing people with all these fancy things. And that's
Mm.
why I say, even being a doctor, listen, all the fancy houses, believing in all the hype, like going in debt, that's the only way you could really control somebody that educated. You got to put them in debt.
That's real.
You know,
That's real.
that's the only way you could really control a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer.
Attorney.
They so educated. They'll blow you out the water. I know doctors, they could do calculations all day long. Man, pharmacists, we probably some of that. We could be mathematicians. We so good at math. But nah, I don't know no pharmacists I ever sat with and calculated their way out of debt.
Damn.
None. Being a pharmacist and doing real estate math, this is almost like preschool math compared to what we learn in pharmacy school.
Really?
Oh my gosh, what? You talking about calculating, the drip rates of medications and dose of medications for kids? This is elementary. This is ABCs. This is first grade math.
And they still not able. You said most of them still not able to climb their way.
Nah,
Figure it out?
I've never seen it. I don't know it. I'm being honest with you. I mean, hey, somebody watching this, if you a doctor and you a stay at home mom or a stay at home dad, let us know how you did it, because I've never met you. I'm being honest. There's not a lot of, I don't know too many doctors that's not in debt. Like, that's the new thing. They just say, oh, that's cool to be. It comes with the territory. It's the cost of, they say it's the cost of doing
It's the cost of-
business.
it's the co- yeah, so it's
Cost
like
of doing business.
cost of doing business.
Yeah.
Talk about this for a second. Like, what when you first got into real estate, what was
Mhm.
that first deal you did?
So the first deal I did, I got into it just like everybody
And
else.
what year?
2018. So I bought my daughters was born in 2018 in May. I bought my first house in February. Then I bought another one 2 days after we left the hospital. So I bought two houses, but I was like, all right, they here. I got to do something, because this money, I can't pass this off to my kids.
Right.
And honestly, I don't even think I would want to.
Really?
Nah. I mean, you know how certain people say, tell your kids to do whatever they want. I really mean that, because I got the real estate now. But if I didn't have the real estate, I wouldn't tell them. I don't really think, like I just told you, the salary just went down 30 grand almost. Like, why would I tell you to do that? That's not a good look.
Mhm.
Unless, I mean, for social stature and for clout, it sound good, but economically and mathematically, it makes
don't
no
make
sense.
Right.
There's other ways to get money. So my first deal, I was just buying rentals, and I was doing it wrong. I was just making $200 a door, 250 a door, losing money, not knowing what I'm doing. Then
Right.
bringing this degree or my doctorate mentality into real
So-
estate,
so-
thinking I know everything. Contractors hit me over the head. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
you get. I'm
You
telling the
telling them you a
contractor.
doctor.
Yeah, telling the contractors pick the money up from me at the pharmacy. I'm working at the man.
They like,
oh, Migo, you know. Man, listen, the house prices, my renovation budget done went up on all these houses. Yeah, all these change orders next time. Man, I'm losing money. So then I was like, all right, this buying rental stuff ain't the wave. So then I started getting into flipping houses, but the interest rates had just dropped. So man, I went crazy.
Right
And
timing.
yeah, it just perfect timing. And I saw it, the opportunity. And at that time, you could almost flip houses. It was like just flipping houses with training wheels. Like, you throw anything up there and you feel like you the man. I'm making so much money during that time. And then once the interest rates hiked, I lost a lot of money, of course, like everybody. You'd
Mhm.
be lying if you say you didn't lose money during that time. That's why I wanted to show you the last 2 years without the interest rates that I'm still consistently doing it. So I've been able to make money in that phase when the interest rates was low. The interest rates done went here, they high.
Yep.
Now that takes a lot of discipline, because you really gotta know your business. You can't be making money consistently in this business if you playing around. It's really when the cameras is off, when everybody go to sleep, what are you doing? Like, and this take a lot of hours. I'm not gonna say this stuff is easy at
Right, right,
all. We're
right,
not
right.
gonna sit up here and play around. Like, you can't make this type of money just putting in 2 hours a day. It's impossible, you know. But my first deal, my first flip, I made 40K, and it felt like it was everything.
The light bulb
Yeah,
went off.
it's very few in between. Like, I may show you some of my highlights here, but I've never made more than 6 figures on a flip. Like, my highest, maybe I hit a couple 90 balls,
Right, right.
70 balls, like I'm showing you.
Mhm.
I get those, but most of my bread and butter, I'm swinging in the 30s.
That's still good
Yeah.
money,
I'm
especially
30s all day. Give me 4 weeks in and out and put it on. I take 30. You know, that's where I make my bread and butter. I mean, I'm flipping 20, 25 houses a year,
that's
so
good money, bro.
I'm doing 30, but out of the 2025, I may really hit it out the park on maybe five,
Wow.
maybe six a year. But the 30s, 30 to 50s is my sweet spot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Talk about this though, because a lot of people they may hear this and they may
hmm
think like, man, you making great money in real estate as a business owner. Why even keep the job? Like, why stay and
Mm,
keep that gig? Why not just leave and do this full time?
yeah. That's a good question, brother. You know, and I think it go back to when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered as, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
36 right now. My dad was taken out of this world at 36.
Mm.
So all I got to remember him about him is a tenant took his life. So when I got into the game, I was like, I don't want anybody to know who I am. I don't want to interfere with
Mm.
tenants. I don't want to collect money. I don't want to touch money. I don't want no confrontation with anybody, right?
That's interesting, bro.
So now I built my business, whereas my tenants don't know who I am. Like, you just saw me closing deals. I could be here with you. I built the business, whereas I could just pass it off to my daughters, right? They don't gotta flip houses. Everything you could just sit behind the scenes and don't nobody gotta know what you doing, or who you are to make the money. So for me, I got twins, totally different. One wants to be a veterinarian. She likes the white coat thing. The other one loves to go in the houses with me and take pictures.
That's
So
dope.
for me, I'm about my legacy. I know people get up here and talk about generational wealth. So for me, my legacy is I need my daughters to know, hey, my dad took care of us. He did the medicine route, he was a doctor, and he did real estate. So one of my daughters, if she wants to go into medicine, I can help you with that. If one of them wants to really go crazy with the flipping or just dive into real estate, I got you. But the opportunities are there. So I made a promise to them when they was born. I was like, the first 10 years, daddy gonna figure this out. And I'm only on year 6.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to say I'm never going to give up the pharmacy, but I don't let it get in the way of me making money in real estate. My whole business, my schedule, everything is designed around my daughters. When I'm with my daughters, I'm not entertaining no real estate. I don't work at the pharmacy. My schedule is all around them first, then my real estate business, then the pharmacy. So a lot of people, if you really making money, most people get into medicine because they really want to help people.
Right.
That's to be honest. It's not always about the money. Like, we hear this all the time. Money isn't going to really make you happy. A lot of people are in nursing, people are in doctors because they want to help people. So when you could go to work and you're not really worried about meeting metrics, or just think about when you go to the doctor, you always wonder like why he rushing you out the room or
Yep.
really so quick with you. That's because they got metrics to meet. So now, when I go to work, I'm more relaxed. I'm probably one of the coolest pharmacists you're going to work with because I got that extra source of income and I'm really here to help you.
So they get paid more to people they see.
Oh, absolutely.
I
And
ain't know that.
yeah, so if you really want to go into a medical, if you really want the best service, when you go into a doctor's office, it's not even good to see the doctor anymore. You better off going to go see the PA, which is the physician assistant or the nurse practitioner, because they get paid less and they spend more time with you. You be in there with them for 10, 15 minutes and you could tell them all your problems. The doctor in there, 5 minutes, in and
In and
out,
out.
in and out, squat, cough, and get out of there.
You know, fact.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
But and I think going back to your point, I think it's also important because people start making money. They might have a job and they start
Right.
making some money on the outside, and a lot of people immediately they like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I think it's important to keep that, especially if it's obviously if it's not stressing you out, causing you some mental health issues. I think it's important because it's security in the end. It's something that you can use that for investment, your investment vehicle to other
Absolutely.
things.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of people get tricked out of their position. Like, I'm not making no 30,000 a year and trading, 40 hours a week for that. I'm making a six-figure job. I have a nice salary. And I'm an entrepreneur. That's another stream of income. Everybody always know. You hear all the time. You gotta have so many streams of income. Some people may say seven, however many the magic number is. I don't really know. Like no one really knows,
Nobody know, right?
No one really knows, but everybody say, "Oh yeah, I became a millionaire through real estate." Nah. I used my pharmacy money and I dumped it all in real estate. And the thing about me is I just live off my pharmacist salary. I don't even really use the real estate money. That's why I'm able to turn up like I do.
Right.
But that takes discipline.
That I was going, and that's you led me right into it. What, like, how? Because not only you using you stacking the real estate money, but you live in a low profile lifestyle. A lot of times when people come up financially, they flashy. They want everybody to know. So talk about that discipline part. Like, was that something that you just always had, or why you don't have that desire to be seen?
I think is the most flashiest thing I've done so far is I bought a car this year, a nice AMG Mercedes, and it cost it was a six-figure car, and I was able to pay for it cash. But that's only because I needed the tax write-off, and I built a business where I can afford it. But the years before, I traded in all my vehicles when I wanted to double down in real estate. I traded in all my luxury cars. I was driving a Kia for a little minute. I just went. I was like, I'm all in on this, and I never got into the doctor lifestyle because I knew it costs too much to impress people that don't really care about you. So some people you just want to live up to a standard or live up to the American dream, and then you look up a few years later, you're in a nightmare.
Facts.
So I'm from North Philly. Like I'm used to living in a row home and not to get too graphic with mice running through the walls. So for me to make it out of Philly, you ain't gotta deal with none of that. I'm good. I'm winning. Like I live by the water now.
That's
So
hard,
that's a
bro.
win for me. That's a win for me. So to have all the extra stuff, it's different ways to flex in life. I'm a parent. So for me, a flex is to take my kids on a Disney cruise. That's a flex for me. That's 10, 15 right there.
Facts.
That's the flex for me. The flex for me is not having to go to work every day. That's the flex for me, not to have to stress myself out at work every day. Or if I do have another child, let's just say if she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, that's the flex for me. So everybody gonna flex differently in their own right. So the flex for me is not to have jewelry, not to have cars. I like the low profile and I like to flex by just owning my time.
On your time.
That's grown man status to me.
It is. I completely agree. Talk about this too, being a full-time dad, but also working and being an entrepreneur. How do you balance that?
That's tough because, you think about it, that's usually what people would say is their disadvantage.
Yeah.
But
I don't got the time.
I'm here to tell you that's actually your advantage because you think about somebody that has a lot of time on their hand, that be the person scrolling on social media all day. They know all the Netflix things coming out. They got all this time and they got a lot of money to burn. When I invest, I know I got to take care of my daughters. I got to think about them, and honestly, I'm investing to spend more time with them. So being a single parent is tough sometimes because you're like, man, I got to help them out with the homework. I got to do this, that to the third. You got to fold laundry. The nice thing about real estate, you got to buy your time back. Instead of doing the laundry, pay somebody to do that.
Yep.
Instead of cooking, I ain't saying you got to get a chef, but I can afford it and just meal prep. So that's one of the things about being a single parent is that I feel like even some people may say it's a disadvantage. I'm gonna tell you it's an advantage because I'm using this and I'm gonna even go harder to free my time up just to not do simple tasks that take so much out of and the burnout. Because most people, you go to work for 8 hours, right? Just think about it. If you working in Dallas, like where you at right now,
Mhm.
the commute to work may be an hour
That's a fact.
one way.
Yeah.
You 8 hours there, an hour
Hour home.
back.
That's
That's 10
10.
hours. You gotta get the baby ready in the morning. You gotta get yourself ready. By the time you get home, you so
You
drained.
exhausted.
You giving your job the best of you. You just giving your kids was the
Leftovers.
leftovers, the leftovers, and they don't deserve that.
Nah.
So I'm like, nah, this ain't it, man. To work 49 weeks or 48 weeks, and you giving me what 4 weeks of vacation, work five
Work
days, you giving me the
Fridays.
weekends off. Saturday, you you just and then Sunday you folding laundry, getting ready to go back. I'm not doing that for 30, 35 years. You crazy.
No, I'm with you, bro. That's real. But
Yeah,
I want to ask you. I want to talk about real estate for a second. What
let's
would you
do it.
say is your formula? What are you looking for when you do deals? Like areas, like pricing points. Like what's your real estate formula where you can make money with your flips?
Yeah. So for me, I'm a type dude. I don't do no luxury. I don't do no like fancy developments. I look at the median price point, what people can afford for first time home buyers. And like in my area, let's just say it's 350, 400,000. Everything under that, I'm flipping it. Some of the deals I'm showing you right now that I may make 90 on, the house sold for 250.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's like I buy a house for 30 and we all in it for 110.
Let's fix it
And
up.
it fix it up 250. So a lot of people don't think you can make that type of money on those lower income areas or first time home. I'm showing you right now, you can run it up. So a lot of people are like, oh man, I gotta do luxury or
Are you
X,
doing
Y, and Z.
you doing OPM?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
You got to. That's the only way to get ahead. Like, you gotta learn how to leverage other people' money. If you dumping all your money into there, you'll never get started. A couple doctors hit me up last week. Was like, man, I don't think I'm gonna ever get started. I see what you're doing. Like, how long did it take you to save up 150,000? I said, what? 150,000? I said 150,000, you'd be
No.
no, you don't need that much. You probably need about maybe 20, 25 to 20 to 30 to feel real comfortable. But a 20, you could get started. Saving up 150,000, you would
It'll
never
never
get
get
started.
done. It'll never get done.
And by the time you get the 150, the prices done went all the way up. Now you need 300,000.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
no, that's real. That's because I think a lot of people they do have that mentality when they hear
Mm-hmm.
people getting in real estate. They like, damn, I need 80,000, I need
Right.
100, I need 200.
Right.
Like I ain't gonna never start with. It's like,
Right.
yo, you leverage other people's incomes.
You have
But
to.
is it with you being a pharmacist? Would you say, let's say, because for people that's not a pharmacist, and they might
Mm-hmm.
say, man, I ain't gonna be able to leverage other people's income like him because he got the good
Mm-hmm.
the pharmacy occupation.
Right.
What would you say to those people?
Well, I don't even use my lender that I go with is he's not in pharmacy or medical.
Right.
But that is an advantage that you just brought up a good point that if you are in the medical field, I ain't even think about that. If you working around other doctors, they don't know what to do with their money. That's money you could just be like, hey,
Let's do something.
wow. Because if you're a nurse, right? Let's just say you're a nurse and you're working around all these doctors, you could really run up the whole hospital floor and they could be your private lenders for your
No.
deals. You got me thinking now. I ain't even think about that. So, but no, my lender and anybody could use hard money lending. And the more deals you do, the rates is
Yeah, the
gonna come
original.
down for you. It's all about repetition and just staying consistent. And I'm gonna be honest. I started out with hard money. Now I just have one private lender, and he's also my mentor. He does about 50 houses
Really?
a year. So he mentoring me to make sure I'm successful, and he lends.
Hey,
So
man, that's hard, bro.
and yeah, so he lends for me and probably like two other guys in my area. He's just local, and I met him through the title company. The title company is another place you can't go up there faking it. It's either you got it and we all close at the same title company, and he wanted to just have his money working for him because he wants to get out of flipping. So he was like, "Hey, I'm a bet on you. I done seen you your track record. You look like you doing your thing, and I ain't gonna say it's luck, but it was
Right.
just discipline and just remaining consistent. But anybody could get into real estate. You could just Google right now, hard money
Hard money
lenders wherever
lenders.
you live, Dallas, Texas, or wherever you live, Houston.
What would you say is regarding to real estate, your biggest regret or biggest mistake you made since being in the game?
Mm. I think, like I told you earlier, uh, taking my doctorate mentality over there. I don't have a doctorate in real estate. I got a doctorate in medicine and pharmacy. Going over there thinking you know it all. Uh, the money is totally different. That's 6 figures. These are 7 figure plays. Like this is a lot of money you playing with. So I think just the ignorance and thinking it's easy because maybe you may see somebody else doing it or HGTV. You may
Yeah.
think you could do all of that. And flipping houses, a lot of my stuff, they all look the same. It's very boring. My business is very boring. And I thought it would be like more exciting. You know how you try to make it exciting, but when you running a successful and profitable business, I hate to say it, it's boring.
Yeah, it is.
It's boring
And
because you
the
just doing the
details too.
same stuff over
Over.
and over again. It's the same paint colors. It's not really, you know. So one of my biggest mistakes is just not finding a mentor fast enough either, which is sad because like I said, thinking you know it all, thinking you could do it. And, I lost a lot of money just not finding a mentor, just connecting with somebody just a few steps ahead of me. And it don't gotta be that guy that's like out there
Uh,
doing 100 houses a year or 50 houses a year. Just get mentorship from the guy that's doing maybe 8 houses a year. That way he's still, in the streets with you. He still feel the grind, the daily hustle. And that was probably my biggest mistake, not finding a mentor fast enough.
fast enough. No,
Mhm.
that's I love that. And what would you say at this point? What would you say is your how can I put this regarding business or your personal life? What would you say is your biggest fear at this point?
I think the biggest fear now is, being a single father. Man, the world is just it's like, I mean, ultimately everybody wants somebody to share what they have going on with.
Yep.
Not saying you just want to collide worlds with the wrong person, but you want to bring somebody in your world to enjoy what you got going on. But you done put in so much work and you may be like, man, who do you really collide with? Because somebody may see you where you at and they just may see you as an opportunity or a next come up.
That's a fact, bro. That's
So that's a realistic
that's a
fear.
real.
And for me, I got a daughter, so I can't
You can't
really,
make no mistakes.
I can't really be introducing.
Any and
I
everybody.
can't have anybody around that, like so. That's
Talk,
one of my biggest fears, like personally.
talk about that though. Like, how do you like for the people that's watching and listening, right? For somebody that's because I think a lot of people gonna go through this. You may be finding success, or you already
Mm-hmm.
found success,
Mm-hmm.
and now you out here
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know who's who or what's what. You
Right.
don't know if somebody like, oh,
Yeah.
this doctor right here.
Yeah.
You thinking they might he or she because women go through this too. I've seen it
Absolutely.
before. I've seen
Absolutely.
women go through this.
Absolutely.
So like what would you say how do you work through that?
Man, I'm still trying to figure it out. I mean, to be honest with you, to be fully transparent with you, those returns I showed you before that, I wasn't making that much money. I was probably making about maybe half that. I filed for divorce those last 2 years. I realized I was about to lose half of everything. I had to double my
Mm.
hustle.
Yo, you just led. We got to talk about this because I feel like everybody always talk about building wealth and wealth killers. They
Mm-hmm.
always talk about overspending or a bunch of other things. But in my opinion, this is just from what I've seen in my personal life, even though
Mm-hmm.
I've never experienced it. The number one killer of wealth for real is divorce.
Absolutely. 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 I just showed you. Like I said, what I'm making now, I wasn't making that before. I was like, yo, I had to, just like if anybody watching this, you already know the mindset is everything. If I'm about to lose half of everything,
Everything.
so
that's
everything.
Talk about that.
It don't matter if you've been married for 6. Look, and the sad thing about my situation is I got married, cost me maybe $500 to get married. I ain't even had no nice wedding. It was in somebody's backyard. Lost half of everything. Everything. You look at her stuff now, she look like she done went to pharmacy school. Half of everything. Don't nobody
Y'all
even
see,
know
I'm
that.
speechless. I'm over
Yeah.
here like, cause
Yeah.
that's real. Like, bro, I done seen this so many times with people, and I be like, I see why there's so many men. Not to say I agree with it, but I see there's a lot of men today
Yeah.
that's like, I ain't getting married. I ain't never getting married.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah. Now, I ain't gonna say all that. Like I said,
Right.
everybody deserves somebody
I agree.
ultimately, but the most dangerous people in this world that I will say are growing up in the city. You grew up in the city, you know how it is. As a young kid that is just hopeless. You don't got nothing to lose. He just feel like, he just rage. He don't got no outlet. And if you combine forces with a man or a woman with no
Right.
financial literacy, that will destroy you. No financial literacy. Oh my!
That's a killer.
All my rent. I'm wondering why I'm not making so much money. All my, you just seeing Amazon packages, Target receipts, all these crab boy. Everybody eating crab boils every day. It's just like, damn, what happened? You wondering where all your money? You can't reinvest. All your money is gone. And then you like, yo, you at work. I'm at work at the pharmacy doing the real estate. You burning all out, and you come home, ain't nobody home. You wonder where everybody at. Then you start doing what the cardinal sin is. You start snooping around, then you find stuff. And I'm a Philly dude, man. I said, no, I can't go out like that.
No,
I'll never look myself in the mirror again. No, and then you just you get back to your grind. You like, man, I'm a hustler, man. You got me all the way messed up. Man.
Right.
All right.
No, bro, that's so real because that's a
Mhm.
lot. That's usually how it go a lot of times. At least from stuff that I've been seeing, it comes down to that money part where people feel like we're not on the same page.
Yeah.
Financially, like it's always somebody that want to spend more than the other typically, and then the person like, man, this ain't what I'm trying to build something here. The money gone. So how would you say what's the best way to avoid that? Is it like just a prenup? Is it what would you say?
I think an honest conversation. What like let's just say, so if you see me combined with another doctor, pharmacist, or whatever, or any health, that's a power couple, right? Or a lawyer. But the conversation gotta be like, okay, what type of doctor lifestyle? What type of lifestyle you want? What's your dream house? Because if I combine with another doctor, I'm a type dude. We're gonna use what you can get applied for. Don't worry about what I could get pre-approved for. That's how I am. So if you could get approved for this, I know we good. I'm gonna use our money to just take it to the next level. Like now in a few years, you wondering, damn, why we ain't got no more? Yeah, that's because I'm over here. I done paid it off. So you gotta had a conversation. I mean, of course, a prenup. Shoot, I even tried to do a postnup at one point. So that's
it didn't work.
once you start realizing that somebody's into it and you start, I mean, that's one option you can do is try to do a postnup. But as soon as somebody hear that, they're like, oh, what you trying to do? So I was like, all right. Yeah, because they already know. That mean, because if you say postnup, that means you about to do something and I ain't gonna be able to get half.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hate to say it, but sometimes relationships and marriage in this country, it's a business move for a lot of people. And if somebody making 20,000 and you merge worlds with somebody making 7 figures, that's a come up, big time.
Man, bro,
big time.
I agree with you so much because I think most people in America, at least, marriage is strictly like a love thing, love. Not to say you shouldn't. You should be in love. You should love your partner, but you still have to be enterprise minded, as I say, because if it go wrong, look what you talking about. So you got to go into it like, what's your financial goals? How you are with spending all these things. They got those conversations. They have to be had.
They have to be had. What type of lifestyle you want? What for the school systems?
Yeah,
you cool with the public school route?
Yeah.
Because if you stay in a nice area, you may not be able to get the biggest house, but you're gonna be in a nice a school system. Or you could go in the hood and get the crazy house, get the mansion, but we gotta send them to private school.
Yep.
What do you want to do? What's most important to you? So I think once that stuff aligns, and those are the conversations I didn't have. I'm a type person, I'm not up here blaming anybody for anything. Like I said, I'm a hustler. I'm always going to bounce back on my feet. That's number one. That's just my mindset with anything. Everything I've been through, the divorce, my father being murdered, being a single dad, I just say, all right, that's all trauma. We're going to charge that to the game. And that's my advantage. That's my advantage. Success is the best revenge.
No question.
That's
Bro.
the best revenge.
It is.
When it's all said and done, success is the best revenge.
And with that being said, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I think that's probably part of the big reason why I think arranged marriages have like less than a 10% chance of divorce. It's because arranged marriages is like a business mindset when you putting two people together. It's just not based on emotions and feelings and love and all that.
Right.
It's like this is a business arrangement to the point. Obviously, they got to like each other too. But yeah, I just think people got to go into stuff like with that mentality, especially if they want longevity for what they doing. And that ain't got nothing to do with, because some people will hear this and just think about leeching. That ain't got nothing to do with being a leech.
Right.
Either way, male or female.
Right.
It's about coming together and building something.
Yeah. And it's not always about the money either.
Right.
Because just because you may be with a woman making six figures or whatever, that doesn't mean she's more valuable than a woman making 50 or 30,000.
That's a fact.
That's not to say that, because she could be at home doing all the books for me.
Yep.
Helping me run the rentals or the flips or helping me out X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
So I can make more money over here.
Yep.
Because you collide worlds with someone making that amount of money. We already talked about it earlier. It come a lot of debt with that. Somebody got to take care of them student loans. Somebody got to keep, so
limited time too.
Limited time. Because you really got, like I told you, the only way you could control a real professional is you got to put them in debt. So your wife or your spouse or your husband, they still going to have to keep going to work. And, when you come home, everybody's exhausted. All right, well, we'll go out on date night on the weekends. You know how that go. So I don't think it's really about the money. I think it's just about the conversations you have. That's what I'm going to do next time, is just have that conversation up front. And you don't even have to be interested in real estate or what I got going on, but you need to have some level of understanding. Like, hey, just because you may see me making it, I don't touch that. That's not even really my money. That's my kids' money. That's my kids' money, and that's my peace of mind money, and that's my free time money. The money I spend to live off, that's what I go to work for. I live off my pharmacist money. I keep it very low, and this is just my peace of mind money. And if I retire in my 40s, my early 40s, then I start, playing with that.
You said peace of mind money. I think that's so interesting. Would you say it's easier to make money when you already have money? If you think that's the case, why do you think that? Why would you say that?
That's a good question. I think, like you just said, the peace of mind money is, it's almost like when you got the peace of mind money, you playing with house money. Like the house never loses,
That's a fact.
So never. Like, you go in any casino that they, you already know they're gonna let you get a couple hits here and there. And the peace of mind is, like we just talking about, the mindset is like, okay, I could go out here and invest, flip houses, buy rental properties, but I still got this stability, a nice income, or you good. So when I put it out here, I'm not losing no sleep. Not saying it's not gonna get stressful. Like, when I put a house out there, still to this day, and I done did over 100 flips. When I put the house out there for the first 24, 48 hours, I lose a lot of sleep, because I'm like, man, are they going, did I do it right? They gonna like the colors. I keep doing the same thing. So, but ultimately, I still know I got my rental income, my pharmacy income, and that's my peace of mind money. When I'm here with you, or when let's just say right now, a lot of people feel like they have to work overtime, and that's one of the main ways they could get ahead or make extra money, right? But if you not working overtime, the only other way to make money is invest, right? So for me, I don't work overtime anymore because I got my kids. So my peace of mind money, like I said, is that real estate. So I could be at peace with my kids and not worry like, hey, man, I should have picked up that 8-hour shift or that extra, they throwing time and a half today. So that's what I'm saying. Peace of mind money is just, hey, I got stuff working for me, and the opportunities is going to be there, and you always can make more money, bro.
Always.
Always can make more money when but the more money you got, I hate to say it, the more money you probably gonna make.
Yeah,
The more money you got, the more money you can't make. Absolutely.
I agree with you. I agree
Yeah,
with you.
absolutely.
And we just had an election, right? And there's a lot of
Mm,
people that's some people are panicking.
yeah,
Some people are celebrating, depending on what side you're
yeah.
on. But let's talk about economically for a second. What would you what's your best piece of advice or for people on how to strategize and make this next 4 years amazing one financially?
I'm excited.
Me too.
I mean, a lot of people gonna probably hate me for saying that, but
He said a lot of he
it is what it
said-
is.
I'll be
I
honest.
mean,
Me
I'm a
too.
businessman,
Me too.
so
Yeah.
of course, it's pros and cons to
Everything.
every politician. As a businessman, I've never, being in real estate, I done let a lot of millionaires, and I've been very fortunate. I can't say I know hundreds of them, but the ones I have met, they never said it was during a presidency or an election term. They was waiting for a president to make them a millionaire, right? They didn't get
Facts.
there through that. So for me, I just told you, I'm still working at the pharmacy. I think he's talking about you can work overtime.
No tax.
Say what? I need that. I need all of that.
No
Now,
tax on
it's so
overtime.
many people working overtime right now, and they feel guilty, and they feel, when they take it, not spending time with their children. If you could go to work and it's not being taxed, that's gonna get you ahead.
Facts.
It's almost like, all right, you a single parent now. It don't even matter anymore. It's so many people working 2, 3 jobs now. You really about to see the stuff start taking to the next level. If you a hustler, if you got that work ethic.
Right. That's
We ain't
important.
talking about the ones working 30 hours and they tired,
Right.
or part-time and they tired. We ain't talking about that. We talking about the people that's really out here working 60, 70-hour work weeks.
Mhm.
They need to be compensated for that.
Facts.
They need to be compensated for that. Now, on the real estate side, I'm even more excited, man. He talking about the interest rates is going down. We're going to see what's going to happen. Because I know once the interest rate's going down, everything I put out there, it's about to go over and asking. Highest and best is coming back.
Yep.
And real estate, we just going to make more money all the way around because the interest rate's going to go down. A lot of people don't really talk about this, but once you sell a house, you really don't know what you're going to get until
Closing.
till closing. You gotta pay to fix up the house that the home buyer may want.
Yeah.
They talking about all of this stuff, and then you wasting all this money on the picker repairs. You may lose about 5,000-6,000. People don't talk about that, So, but when the interest rates down, all inspections is waived all of a sudden. Don't nobody care. Oh no, you ain't gotta fix that. I don't even want a refrigerator anymore. I could buy my own.
I could buy my own.
Oh, all right, cool. That's just an extra, I ain't even gotta put appliance packages in houses anymore. So it's gonna be a lot more money to be made. And you could turn your money faster.
Yeah.
So instead of me waiting like 30 days on the market, now we may be shortened to maybe 2 weeks, who knows? But if you don't take advantage, what I will tell you is you're going to be left. Because if you think the appreciation went crazy now, imagine what it's about to do. So if you can't afford it today,
it's over.
When he get done doing whatever he say he gonna do, man, that's gonna be the wealth gap.
Yeah.
In our generation, we really gonna see. That's probably gonna wipe out. Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. It's gonna be unfortunate for a lot of
very,
people.
very.
But if you could get on this owner side, if
Mm-hmm.
you are on the owner side,
Mm-hmm.
do your best to keep that, maintain that, because what we about to see as far as appreciation and equity,
Yeah,
it's gonna be life-changing money for a lot of people.
Life-changing. I'm talking about, very life-changing. And if you could get in the game, not only on the owner side, but just owning some rental properties, is either everybody's in the real estate game. At the first of the month, you paying an investor like me, or you paying the bank, so, but everybody's in the real estate game, everybody. I don't care what you do. If you're making a payment on the first of the month, you in the real estate game.
Yep, and everybody doing that.
Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. Like I said, the only thing that's different about me is I got my tenants paying for my lifestyle. But some people, but everybody's in the real estate game. You got to get in.
And this my final question I have for you. What would you say for everybody that's watching and listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
They trying to get their life on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
They see what's going on in the world. They see what just happened with the election. Some people nervous, some people excited. What would be your best piece of advice? Let's say for anybody that's any age, but let's for this example, let's say they might be 25, 26. They're like, man, I'm trying to get this ball rolling. I'm trying to get lit over into these next 5 to 10 years. What's your best piece of advice for them?
I would say this might be everybody say you may have a one-time shot to blow. This might be the biggest opportunity for you to really get ahead in life. I don't know if it's ever going to come back again. No one knows. No one has a crystal ball. But when the interest rates went down to, let's just say, what was it? About 2%.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wished they bought a house then.
Man, I still regret it.
I didn't even refinance none of my
You
cribs at
did?
that time. No. So,
They
now
good.
I probably will take advantage of it, right? But the second time come around, all right, you got me on the last time. If it come again, now we prepared, because usually the second time don't come back that quick.
It don't. It take a while.
It take a while. You may be waiting like 10, 15,
Facts.
but now, like, the second time is like, okay, right here.
Right here.
We just took a quick time out. Now we back at it.
No facts.
So what you gonna do? So I think right now you may just want to double down, and this might be the time where, hey, I ain't going out to the club. I ain't worried about
Facts.
nothing else. I'm locked in over the next
Facts.
4. Because every investor and everybody that's really successful in business, it's a time period in your life where you just gotta block out everything just to set you up for the future. Like for me, I had to block out maybe 4 years of my life just to get here.
That's real, bro.
And these next 4 years may be the years for you. And I'm where I'm at, but I'm about to block out the next 4 years of my life and just double down on everything. I'm about to block out the next 4 years of my
Me
life
too.
and just try to take it all the way up to the next level.
Bro. I started this in 2020. Every new election, I have a family meeting. I meet with my family, and depending on the whoever was elected, I know their plans and what their policies is, and I know how it's probably going to affect the economy. And I plan around that. I just had a meeting. I'm on the same type of time, because I think a lot of people, they took 2017 through 2021. People took that for granted because we were so young. We never been through it before. We thought this was gonna be booming like that forever.
Right.
Then the drought come and people they shaking. They, you know what I'm saying? Nobody ready.
Yeah.
So now I'm planning for this. I'm all I'm doing is working. Ain't no partying. Ain't no
All
none
money
of that.
in.
All money in.
All
We
money
stacking
in.
everything, because if a drought, you never know what could come. You need to be prepared for that, and you prepared in the good times.
Yeah, like I said, we done seen it happen. It's just too close to. It's just too close. Like you still feel, you like, hold on, I done felt it. All right, I missed out on the last one. I'm not going out like Cornball Jamal again.
Never again, bro. Never again.
Nah.
I talked to a realtor. I asked him when I was buying my house. This house was $850,000. I talked to the realtor. I said, how much was this house pre-COVID? This man, look, he said, bro, you don't even want to know. You're gonna be pissed off. He told me this house was $850. It was $470 in 2019. It went from $470 to $850 in a matter of 5 years.
Wow.
So people came in.
Wow.
And this was in Dallas.
Wow.
So there you go, man. But
man.
but before we wrap up, bro, I want to say, man, I really appreciate you coming on. This was a lot of value, bro. Very informal. But before I let you go, plug in all your stuff, bro, where people can follow you. If they want to become a student of yours, anything you got going on, plug it.
Yeah. Anybody interested in working with me, just follow me on social media. The best place to find me is probably on Instagram right now at Dr.Flipper. So doctor is spelled out DOCTOR Flipper. Find me on Instagram. I'm always posting me at the pharmacy, me with my kids, a lot of houses. So I'm always here to add value, and I'm looking to work with the underdog. So if you feel like you got it all together, I may not be the guy for you, but if you got some trauma with you and you got a story to tell, you're a single parent, you working full time, I'm probably your guy. I'm still doing it in the pharmacy. I'm very successful in real estate. I got the kids, so I get it. And I come from the inner city. I understand what it takes to get up out of that situation. So tap in with me on there, and that's probably the best place to find me right now.
Okay. Y'all tap in, but y'all see what he got going on. Y'all see he killing it in
Mhm.
both industry and as a parent, all those things. And as for me, I'm on all platforms at Xavier C. Miller, and I'm at the Millionaire Mindsets podcast. That's every single platform. And I appreciate you guys tuning into this episode. See you guys next episode. Peace.